All right, everybody, welcome to the Monday night BFREE team call. So we are very lucky tonight. We've got a special guest who's going to be dropping some knowledge and some truth bombs all over the place. So I'm always thinking about who I can get on to share some stuff that'll be beneficial to the team and hitting their goals and all that sort of stuff. And I think a really big thing that's been happening recently is there has been a lot of rank advancements. If you look at the ANZ business page with the seasonal shakes and all these sort of promotions that have been happening at the beginning of the year. And so I know a lot of people have been going for ranks and been going for some big goals. And one person that I've seen navigate this area with herself and with her team really, really well in a way that I've really respected over the 5 years now. 5 years.
4 days.
5 years in 4 days, yeah. Is Anna and Morg. So Anna's on tonight.
Sorry.
What's that?
I said, sorry, we had to divide and conquer.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I understand that. Most of you guys know Anna's story. Briefly, I'll give you a bit of a backstory. Like, I met Anna the very first Wellness Wednesday I went to back in the day when Wellness Wednesday was 12 people, and I think Peter Kelly was only 1 star at the time. So the real OG. We didn't even have president's packs, which are now premium packs back in the day. And so I've watched Anna smash through some ranks and then plateau at some ranks for a while. And then she's just recently smashed through and she hit six star earlier this year and had a lot of her girls rank advance as well, which was epic to see. I wanted to get Anna on just to share a little bit about the topic on rank advancing. Like, I think we'll start. In fact, I'm just going to, what are your first things that come to your heart when you think about rank advancing with an isogenics business?
It's such a shit hot topic at the moment. And corporate had kind of said the team and I had broken the 4-minute mile in Australia because, America rank advance is seasonal. But no one really had in Australia yet. And then obviously the girls and I did in the Caramel week.
Yeah.
With the utmost intention. So, but the biggest thing that I always want to say, not even on rank advancement, because I always speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I said to Morgsy just before, I said, oh, fuck, I think I want to tell him how, just this morning, no matter how big, not big you get, but no matter how much success you have, no matter what star you get to, no matter what, how certain you look, how much you show up in this, how consistent you are, no matter what, you can still cry in the kitchen on a Monday morning, which I did this morning. So, about the business. So I just always want people to know, yes, we're going to talk about rank advancement and it's so amazing and so exciting and I will do everything exactly how I did it. Templates, everything, but always just know, I think, no matter what in this business, the stars are cool and rank advancement's phenomenal. And I do think it's an outstanding way to measure your not success, but measure just moving forward in the biz.
Progress.
We can talk about that too, because obviously no one, I feel like except Jen Patch would be paid at their star ranking every single week. I am someone that is absolutely pro rank advancing, and going for goals in this company. A lot of people are kind of not in as much anymore, whereas I still am. But I just want everyone to always know that no matter, we can be the best and show up and do amazing work, but you're still going to have wall kicking moments and get frustrated and cry in the kitchen and be let down and, get no's. It never stops. But I just always say it's completely worth it.
Love it. And I think before we get into the the templates, and obviously you very intentionally hit 6 star, like you said, with the caramel shake, but you're somebody who moved through the ranks initially, because we've got a lot of people on this call that are maybe back closer when you started and you moved through consultant, manager, director, 1 star, 2 star, you moved through the ranks quite quickly when you just started. Obviously there was a lot of self-generated momentum then and you were talking to a shitload of people, but how would you look at rank advancing those early ranks and how important it is then compared to when you go to your bigger ranks from say 5 to 6 star and that sort of thing? Like, how would you compare the importance of, and is there a different way of going about things with those two?
No, absolutely not. I was like, I don't fully understand the question, but what I will say is I know in the beginning, so I went from 0 to Crystal Executive in just 3 months, like just under 3 months. 1 star in like Crystal, I went like the week I went Crystal Manager, which was like week 5, I went 1 star. Crystal Director, same week I went Crystal Director, I went Crystal Executive, because to me, I was like, and this is still the ethos that I have in terms of creating consultants. Morgan and I are paid as executive. We've never dropped off paid as executive. I think right now we have 21 active consultants, which is low for us. Like, because in my head, it was always like, well, once I've done it once, I can do it again and again and again. So for me, it was quick, right? It was very, very quick in the beginning. But I always say it was complete ignorance on fire, but it was absolute all out action for sure. And the thing is, and I talk about, I'm training on main stage at Celebration. So many teams have asked me to come on their calls to talk about this. And I'm like, I'm talking about, Fox was like, no more, because you're talking about it on main stage. And I did for you, Tally.
Thank you.
Always. But I moved quick in the beginning, and it was ignorance on fire. But, I look back then, and then I got stuck. So we got stuck. So from year 1, so for 3 years, let me put it like this, from first year, so the end of first year to when I went 6 star, there was 3 years of consistent all out action. I never stopped enrolling. I never stopped creating consultants, managers, directors, and executives. I got to I still will, I always will get to every single event, all these things. And this was the key thing. And I'm talking about this at Celebration, but I can fundamentally say the difference was, and I worked it out essentially when I went to go for 6 star, was when I went consultant, it was like date with destiny. Like when it was like, I'm going consultant, I went consultant. When it was like, I'm going to go for Crystal Manager, I went Crystal Manager. When I said I want to go Director, I went Crystal Director. And then I remember when I didn't know, I was Peter's first Crystal Director. She hadn't even created one before. I didn't even know what it was. And I remember sitting at Secrets of Millionaire Mind or something with T. Harv Eker, and they're talking about passive income. And I was like, I'd just gone Director. I didn't even know what that really was. But I said, well, what's next? Right? And this is the point. For me, it's just always, okay, what's next? What's next? One more person. And I said, well, what's next? And she said, executive, what's that? Well, 4 more consultants. And I went, oh, well, I've done 6. I can surely do 4 more. And then I'm at this event, and for 2 days, they were talking at us about passive income. And I remember on the Sunday, I turned to Peter and I said, wait, so is this passive income what we earn in Isogenics? And she's whispering, she's like, no, it's residual. And I'm like, that's better. Like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, way better. And I was like, I literally, this is the story. I started to pack up my stuff, and she was like, where are you going? And I was like, to hit executive. Like, it was like just banana. I was like, to hit executive. She was like, fuck, I'm coming. Like, and she packed up her stuff. And then Rose was there, and Rose was like, where are you going? And I was like, to go executive. And like everyone's scrambling and getting their stuff. And we walked out of the event. I went and sat in the foyer, and I just got on the phone, and I went executive, I think within like 2-3 hours. But again, I looked at that, and it was like, I thought it was done. And like, that was the birth of champagne in the team, I swear. But that, right? But I'd made the decision. Then what happened was we went 5 star, and a lot happened at the same time. We got married, which was phenomenal. We've traveled the world. We've moved, like we've done all these phenomenal things. But it's not even like I got into management mode. Yes, I did. All of those things. Every time I then went, okay, I'm going to go 6 star. It was like that little bit of doubt. Like, like maybe not if you looked at your numbers, if you looked at your current team, like it was always that shred of doubt. Whereas previous to that, when it was like I'm going consultant, I was going consultant. When I was going 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, like I remember when I made the 5 star goal, I was crying in the shower the week. I'll never forget it. I was crying in the shower like one of the mornings because Morgan was like, babe, you're not going to do it. He was still at work full time at that stage and didn't fully even get it, right? Understand that. I was almost 5 star and he still didn't really get it. And I was like, I remember crying in the shower because I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't know how, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. And then by 10 a.m. on the Monday, I'd done it. So the difference I really do find, and this is just such a powerful lesson, I just feel like in Isogenics, that I now take into, you know, and yes, we hit 6-star, amazing with the team as well. Like Georgie went 6-star, Claudia went 4-star. There was managers, directors, there was a lot. But, you know, for me, it was realizing yet again that in Isogenics, we have a choice. Just like we do every day in our life, we have a choice. And I had just decided, and I drew the line in the sand, just like I did from associate to executive 5-star. And I just went for it. I did whatever I could. I showed up a little more. I stayed up, absolutely stayed up later. I definitely got up earlier. Again, like just all the simple, basic fundamentals. I had hundreds of conversations, the basics again. And, you know, the important thing is I always say since then, so 6-star was phenomenal, but, you know, since then it hasn't stopped. So cycles absolutely go back. Don't ever think, you know, 6-star is amazing and we hit 6-star, but, you know, you go back, you always go back, which isn't a good thing. Like that's not, like I always say, do we want to be cycling at 6-star every week? Of course, that's our now goal. But you'll always go back. But since then, you know, December, I think it was 24 people I enrolled, 23 of them were like that week. January, I did 10 to 12. February, I did 10. I did 4 last week. So, you know, since then I've created 1 crystal manager, 5 consultants. I'll do 2 consultants this week. So there's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of action at the moment. But I'm telling you right now, it's come back from that decision that I made back in December when it was like enough. Like I'm so done watching other people again, and I'm so done playing small, and I'm so done, you know, setting a goal and not hitting it, and I'm so done just, I don't know, like not living into my full potential essentially. So yeah, helping get your people paid. Yeah, all of it. I was just done with it. So I can fundamentally say there was no difference for me in terms of, the difference was I hadn't worked this out yet. I hadn't worked out what was the difference between associate to executive, 0 to 5-star in that first year. And it was just anything, it was like speaking things into being. If I said consultant, I did what I did. I didn't watch the TV. I didn't, you know, and there could be mums on here that are like, fuck, I just want to get double PIBs, which is phenomenal. Like, and that is, I say to my team all the time, we don't incentivize, we don't do anything like that because we're like, you know, you get $80 for sharing a premium pack. Like that's been $160 if you share it twice. Like I think this compensation plan is the most generous in the world. So we're always like, we never want to take away from that. It's like, for me, that's just constantly what excites me. So I think with, you know, rank advancements, the biggest thing that I can say was it was just honestly, and this is why I was asked to train, because it was like, Fox was like, you figured it out. Like, it was like I'm finally decided again that it was like I'm setting that goal, and it wasn't like I might do it. It wasn't, you know, well maybe. There was just certainty like I can never explain. Like if I always say, like if I could bottle the certainty that I felt when I made that decision, and like corporate said I probably couldn't do it. My numbers, Morgan was doubtful, bless him, but so supportive. Like Jimmy and Det, who were like our family, were calling me in the week, like, where are your numbers? I don't know if you can do it. And it was just like, I'm fucking doing it. Everybody don't call me. I'm coming to the office. I'll see you on Monday at 1:00. Like, put the VOOV in the fridge. It's happening. And it happened. And it was just like, it happened because it was that decision that was made. So that's the biggest thing I always think. If you just want to get double PIBs, if you just want to go consultant, if you want to, I don't know, hold a launch party and you're being scared about, it's not just about rank advancement. It's anything in this company and with this business model. I just think it's like making that decision and not being half in. It's like just being all in. Like, what's the line in the sand for you? What's it going to take for you to be like, enough is enough. I want to do this. I want to move forward. I don't want to play small anymore. And it doesn't have to be a star or a rank, but it's some form of goal that you're going to set, because this, to me, it's like Isogenics is so life-changing, it's not even funny, and we have everything at our fingertips. So it's just deciding that like enough is enough.
Love it. And what would you say to someone who had set a goal or has set a similar goal like 3 or 4 times and not hit it, and you almost start to develop this like negative association with even the process of setting goals, because you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, kind of like, what's the point? Or like, yeah, like how do you develop that certainty? Like, yes, it's a decision, but have you, and either for yourself or in people that you've coached, have you helped people maybe sometimes reframe a goal and maybe be like, well, maybe you don't have certainty around 5-star because you should be aiming for constant 4-star as your goal that's real, or whatever it is. Like, at what point do you reframe the goal rather than try to develop certainty around what you think the goal should be?
Well, they have to know the best question in the world. And I feel like it's 2 questions. So for someone that genuinely wants to set, and like, it's got to be realistic, right? I was 5-star, so going for 6 was the next logical thing. We had, I had leaders that linked arms with me. We ran a campaign. There was a lead in, there was a seasonal getting, like I used the toolbox available to me, right? I said,
that's gold.
So it's like, I use that goddamn tool. I like use IsaBody. I use seasonal. I use linking arms with leaders. I used all what I had available to me so to move myself forward. And I absolutely, that made sense. I wasn't like, we were paid as executive as well. So it was like, it wasn't like manager 2-star and I'm like, I want to be executive 5-star next week. Like, it was realistic. So first of all, we always say, and I just did a call with one of my brand newbies who, as a beautiful mum, Brianna, and she wants to build the business. So we're just doing a call and she's like, okay, I want $400 a week. I want this. And I said, beautiful. And I'm so excited when that's going to happen. But right now, your goal and all we're going to do for you and all we need to focus on is the next 2 people. Because your first goal in this company is consultant. Find, you share. So, and she was like, oh my God, that's easy. And I was like, of course that's easy, right? So the biggest thing is always like, I speak to anyone and everyone in our team about just the next 2. So it's like, and then when she does that, and she goes, and then what's next? And I said, well, when you do that, then I'll tell you what's next. But right now, all you're going to focus on is 20 conversations, because if you have 20 conversations, 1 out of 10 is going to say yes. So I said, and we're going to get your 2 before celebration. So first of all, it's like next 2, just who are your next 2? But the biggest thing for me is, if someone, like our team had set, like the amount, we are the king and queens of 90-day game plans. We love them. We're in one now with a couple of leaders, but we've changed it all. It's all different now. It's like 90-day consistency challenges. But we love them, right? And in every single one, we've all set the goals. But I cannot tell you, literally cannot tell you, like I wouldn't know because it's that many and I've lost count, how many times I set the goal to go 6-star in those 3 years. Mm-hmm. And put in the work, put in the action. I've never stopped. I don't, like, it's Monday, 6 o'clock, and like I have been in this office, like it's just, I love it. This is what I do. And that's been the same for the last 5 years. But I said to the girls, they were like, we've failed over and over again. And I said, we have, but let's look at every time we've succeeded. Like the next 2 weeks, all we're going to focus on and all we're going to talk about and all we're going to celebrate is every time we've made it, every time we've pushed through, every time we've had success, every time we've, kissed the boy, shown up, played big, like whatever it was. And I literally wrote a list of all my accomplishments in Isogenics. For me, that was an anchor that I needed. We're debt-free. We live in our dream home. We have phenomenal health. We have a team that's our family. I just listed consultant. I got all my fucking pins out. It was like consultant. I've gone manager. I've gone director. I've gone executive. Like I've done all these things and I just focused on that. So every time it was like, it just became this, like, you're going to do it because you've accomplished so much before. So why not this? So the 2 things for me is, like, first of all, when you're talking to the next person that like is identifying themselves as a business builder or they want to go again, and it's not even about rank advancement. It's like, I of course always have the conversation and make sure it's realistic, and I literally just focus on the next thing. So for Brianna, it was like, your first goal is just consultant, and how amazing, and how, like, I got her so excited. She's so pumped right now. Like for consultant on her name badge at Celebration, like the $400 a week is forgotten. It's like, she's so anchored. She's like, I'm going to be a consultant. I'm like, yes, you are, because that's the next thing. So I can do that with her. But then when I'm coaching on a bigger scale and we're really pushing for that rank advancement, it was like, as a team and as a cohort, let's come together and focus on every beautiful, abundant, phenomenal, freeing thing that we have accomplished and achieved and got in the last, 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, and focus on that. And I literally had that up on my computer. Like, it was like, you've gone consultant, you've gone manager, you've gone director, like, you can do this. So I would put those in 2 different categories.
Yeah, I love it. And that's such a powerful thing that I've never actually done before. And we would talk about it a lot because, like, naturally as humans, like, we've got that negativity bias. We're hardwired to focus on the negatives unless we consciously do the alternatives. So having that list of things that you have accomplished inside the company, or if you're new, just things you have accomplished, goals you've set and achieved, and having that focus to change your state while you're setting the goal, I think would be really, really powerful. So I would love to hear, talk us through how you actually, obviously the first thing was you were clear with your decision. You've spoken about all out action. So clarity around the decision, drawing a line in the sand, all out action. And I guess what specifically that, and also I think an important point that you said is leveraging the toolbox. You didn't just pick a random week to go 6-star. It's like you combine seasonal shake with Eyes of Body with all this stuff. So those two, toolbox. Yeah. So after those 3 things, then talk us through what you actually did.
Yeah, it's so simple, ready? And this is like exactly like, it's so funny, like, this is my exact piece, like clarity, this. Then we got systemized, like literally got systemized. So for the team, I created, for the ones that wanted it, right? We didn't know, not everyone went for it. Not everyone was going for anything. The team were behind us. That was the other thing. We shared the goal. We were like, guys, we're going to go for this. We're really excited. I had never shared it with more people in my life. Like, I was in tears all week. Like, my mum's religious, and she was like, she's got this prayer group, and she's like, sweetheart, like, I'm meeting with my prayer group this week. We're going to all pray for you. I was like, J-Mac, yes! Get the good man to, like, let's go 6-star. And like Rosebud, Rose sent me a little sign with her twin girls, and it was like, go Auntie Nana. Like, so first of all, declare it, right? So declare the goal, whatever it is, 100%. I've never declared it more in my life. So I was like, I literally cannot fail. And then we got systemized. So what that looked like for us, I created, it's not about, like, I've talked to corporate about this as well. It wasn't about, you know how they like, don't be a tool, use the tools? Yes. But in that instance, for me, I need the volume that I was going to be speaking to people at was ginormous. I rewrote my master list, right? So that was step number 1. I rewrote my entire master list, and it wasn't even my entire. I probably had 500-600 names. And then I was like, I'm going to contact every single person and follow up that I've ever spoken to in Isogenics that I had written somewhere. Then I sent them, I'm going to share my screen, this. So I got systemized, right? I sent them this. So it was like, hey, chick, I know we haven't spoken in 4 years, most of them. But, and I hope things are well. Literally, it was always personal, always personal. I'm so about genuine human connection. So it was like, I hope you've been well. I remember from our last conversation, it was not copy and paste. A little bit of it was, like the crux of it was. But it was like, I can see in our conversations, you said that you were dealing with like low energy, or you just had a baby, like, how's that going? Or, like, it was very personal. And then I'd say, look, I'm not sure if anything's changed for you, but I'm about to kick off a 16-week challenge with all of my beautiful team. If time or finances are good for you right now, I'd love to have you a part of it. Here's the information. Let me know if you want pack information. Literally, that was it, right? Sent that over and 400 times. Like, I just was like, I'm just going to send this my whole list. That's how I got 20, I think I've got to get my exact number again. It was 22 or 23 enrollments in that week. And most were ultimates and premiums.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm doing all my numbers at Celebration, but it was huge, right? But the action was huge, right? So as much as I'm woo-woo, like, decide and draw a line in the sand. Like, if you want, like, the action, like, I got into action, right? So I rewrote my master list. We got super systemized. Rewrote my master list, put all my names back on a piece of paper, and then I sent them. I followed up, like, all day. It was just contacting people.
When did you start? Sorry to interrupt. When to go into enroll in that week? So the week you rank advanced. How long? When did you send out all these messages? How long before that week? 2 weeks.
And actually, well, no, it took, so to be fair, I started to send them 2 weeks earlier. And this is a big thing. Like, we laugh and we're like, it was probably the most compliant rank advancement the company's ever seen, because there was no forms held off, like no enrollments. I'd done 4 enrollments the week before 6-star, like gratitude reluctantly, because I was like, no, like, but I just, so people, when I was in this action, people were like, yeah, but I want it to yesterday. Like, I'm not going to wait for December 1, I think we'd said, was like, and it was just a language, right? So it was like, actually, there you go, that's a really good point. It was like, we're starting a 16-week challenge December 1 with the team. This is when we kick off. So if you want to be part of it, let me know. I can send you back information. And then I was just in conversation. And a lot of women I was in conversation with were then like, yeah, I'm ready, but like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Do I have to wait? And of course they don't. They didn't have to wait. And that's essentially non-compliant because you're holding packs off. So I'd done 4 enrollments the week before 6-star week for women that didn't want to wait off. So there's power in this, is what I'm saying. So then I'd send this over and over and over and over again. A lot, I didn't follow up with a lot because I had so many people on my list that I was just sending this to. I wasn't getting time to go back. So a lot of people were just replying straight away, which was awesome. Then, as you can see at the bottom, I've got the costs. Simply your investment in an Isogenics pack or program from as little as $13 to $25 a day. So then when they're like, yeah, okay, I really want some information. Well, it's pack information, because that's the next step, right? So then I've just created this little simple graphic that, because I'm just all about ease and I need quick, I sent them that. So then I was like, awesome, here's the pack information. And that's all I did there was I screenshot photos. People were like, how did you get that? I literally just screenshot the pack components, and I put it in a Word doc and made a JPEG. But I'd send them that, and then this is where it got more personal. I'd voice message them really quickly, and I'd go, hey, beautiful, so these are the packs. Look, of course, there's more. Like, there are...
Where the hell is it?
Oh, we'll just
right
get
now, I have a BFREE
everybody
call
to mute their line. We've got somebody jump on. Who is that?
All right, she's
we're good.
So then I'd voice, this is the part where it got personal. Like, I'd be like, hey, beautiful, these are the packs. Look, there's a pack for every budget and every goal. Don't feel like you have to start on the biggest. Absolutely don't. But these are what I love, and here's why. This is what it looks like. Super quick. 1 minute. Do not send multiple voice messages because people won't listen to them. I don't too much. And I just say, my personal favorites is the healthy living. I call it healthy. And you'll see like little differences. Like, I call it the healthy living, not healthy aging, because I'm dealing with 29-year-old women who are about healthy living and not, healthy aging, they associate old. Weight again, because I always say one team never meant one way. So this is what works for our team. So I send that, and then they'd have objections or questions. I'd deal with them, and then I'd enroll them. And then I've also created this.
Did you jump on the phone with any of them, or did you deal with them over voice message?
No, I literally did not have one phone conversation in 6-star week, which is like, what? But then when I enrolled my 24, they've had, like, they're on my whiteboard. They had a call from me. They had a back office tool from Morgan. They had a catch up with me if they were in Perth. They got put into groups of like similar, like if they were like 4 girls got put in PMs, and there's a lot of high touch after. But in 6-star week, when I was going for it with high volume, high conversations, high action, I personally didn't have time for the phone, because I was just getting people back, like, that were like, yeah, I want this. So that's it. So I got systemized, and they were our systems. 1, 2, 3. Rewrote the master list, created a graphic that felt good for us, right? That felt good for us. It was like our team photos, before and afters on there, stuff that we liked. Like, it was like, this is what you get. And then the pack information, that was super simple. Okay, great question. So with my 24 enrollments, I easily would have had 300-400 conversations, like as in follow-ups, direct. But then from that, the women that came back and I was then in conversation with, a lot, way more than 200. So, or maybe, maybe 200, 250. The numbers don't lie. Like literally it's bananas. For every 10 people I'd send that to, one would be like, boom, yeah, I'm really interested. Like it was the numbers in this company personified, because they say for every 10 conversations that you have, not, hey, how are you? Like a, hi, I'm doing Isagenix, you know, whatever it is for you, but like I'm doing a 16-week challenge. I'd love to send you some more information. Like that's a contact. One person will say yes. So for every 10 conversations, one will say yes. So, so after the pack, an enrollment form, Mandy, my love, it was boom. It was like, yeah, well, let's get you started. They'd say, okay, what's next? And I'm like, well, this is the information that I need from you. And then it was, then enroll. And I have to say as well, the vibe, we had Ash, Georgie, Claudia, Morgan, and I, and Kim in a PM. So like my teams or our team's leadership, that were all going for it. Or even Ash and Kim weren't going for a rank advancement, but they wanted to be amongst the hype and the fun, which I loved. And that's honestly what kept the buzz alive. Like, I remember the girls, like, I wanted 2 more enrollments. So the girls were like, we're not going to go to bed until, you know, you've got the, like, it was such a team effort, and it was we all came together. It really was just this beautiful, like, I remember the night, like the final Saturday night, like we were all on Zoom just working together. Like it just was so fun, right? And it's the power, I have to say, in linking arms within your team, externally always, but like within your team as well, and going, we vibe so much. Like, hey, you do the graphic. Like you're good at that. Can you do the graphic? I'll do the pack one. Let's catch up on a Monday for 4 hours and like hit follow-ups or whatever. Like the power of that was just, I can't, inexplainable.
Yeah, love it. And what do you send as the enrollment form, the expression of interest form, or have you done up your own thing?
Yeah,
do you just send, this is what I need?
Lucy from corporate was like, no, you can't do that. I was like, awkward, because I fucking did it.
And I'm probably going to keep doing it.
I told her, no, we've had a big chat about it. I just send this. I can send this to you, Tel.
Yeah, do.
Super simple. Claudia and I, like, we just whipped it up. But I just found, I don't know why, it's funny, I never did enrollment forms. I always just normally send, this is what I need, and it's always worked for me. Actually, no, I know why, because the volume in I call it 6-star week, in 6-star week, there was so many people just like, yes, like ultimately. I was like, okay, here's a form, like fill in the form and get it back to me. And then we had them all, and it was just this beautiful structured, organized. It was cool. So that's the form. I'll send that to you, Tal, and you can share that.
Sweet.
But yes,
epic.
Like I have to say, it's like systems, like, and now, so for example, Brianna, like that now doesn't change for me. So now every day in the conversations that I have, and all, like everything duplicates. So with Brianna just then, she said she was one that got started. Actually, there you go. She's one that got started in 6-star week. Yeah. And she's had amazing results, and she wants to share now, come in a celebration. And she said to me, she goes, okay, babe, like, what's the first step? Like, I want $400 a week, right? And I said, consultant. And here's how we're going to do it. You're going to write your list. You're going to send your list that graphic, because everyone gets access to it. So I said, send them this graphic, follow up with them. Then when they want more information, here's the pack image. And then if they have questions, put them in a PM with me, like 3-way, or answer it yourself, of course, and then solve them. It's the most duplicatable system.
Do you use that same graphic that you used for 6-star week?
Yeah. I changed it because that was 16. We did it like it was 16 weeks to a more radiant you. And now, because I use that every single day. I followed up with 10 people today. I use that. So I've changed it now because I'm like, not everyone will want to do a 16 weeks. So we've done it 4, so 30 days essentially. So 4 to 16 weeks, and people can opt in and out.
Gotcha.
Morgan goes over, he does all the back office tours, and he gets them all enrolled in IsaBody in the first 28 hours. So they all end up sort of enrolled. They don't all stay. I assure you, they don't all stay. But But yeah, 16 week is a really cool mindset to get amongst the team.
Yeah, love it. And that's such a good duplicable thing to have the graphic. So, and is that graphic aimed at women? Did Morgs have one sending to?
No. I am Morgan in that targeting women. I own the pants off this. My demographic, who I vibe with, who I love to work with, my team is women. Like fired up, generally already pretty fit women. Like, that's just my jam. A guy contacted me on Instagram the other day. I was like, cool, bro, speak to Morgs. Like, I just like, I work with, and it's a great way to like vet them. But he is a weapon at doing all the tech stuff. So when I enrolled 24 women, they all needed back office tours. They all needed to be talked through their pack. And he does all that. So,
Gotcha.
this is a really cool thing. If you guys are building as a couple, and I can see couples in the screen. Hey, lovies. I haven't seen you yet. Hey. We fail forward all the time, and we still argue and like, please, we're not perfect. But we have gotten good at just really core-defined roles and owning the parents off them. And I am the connector. And I do the graphics, I bring the women in, and then he just solidifies them and gets them set up on IsaBody and does back office tours, and he's a weapon at that. And tech. So when they start enrolling, which a lot of them are and a lot of them do, he helps with all that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Love it.
But
Love it.
Like I would say that Georgie and Claudia enroll guys, like they're there for everyone. Good on them. And I said to them, well, you guys do a male graphic. The same principle applies. And they did. I just was like, I'm not going to, but they did for their guys to use. And it worked. So the same principles absolutely apply.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, did anybody have any more questions? That was extremely comprehensive. Thanks so much especially because you're going to be telling us all again in 2 weeks. So how good. Did anybody have any questions? Yeah, we've got a few. Linda's just unmuted. Linda, by the way, has been crushing it and has been hit 5-cycle bonus and director recently. So Crystal director, she got in. So Linda, fire away.
So my question, when you were 4 consultants off your Crystal exec, so that's me, where I'm at right now. Yeah. So when you packed up and went outside to make those phone calls, who were those phone calls to, and what did you say?
Amazing.
To reach a Crystal executive within 2 hours.
Like that. Yeah, amazing. So and it doesn't matter, but this was my experience. How long, Linda, have you been doing it now?
October last year.
Amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So was
I am.
Yeah, amazing. No, and because so was I. And so people always say that. Bye, love you. People always say that. So in the beginning, at that stage, I'm like, I could absolutely leverage that I was a freshie. I was new. I was still fired up. I still had a lot of people to talk to. I'd enrolled quite a lot of people. So I was obviously on the phone to the people that I'd enrolled. Like, one was the best man at our wedding. So I literally called Joff, and like I just said, Joff, one was my brother, right? One was my brother. One was, just to give you an example, 2 of my consultants and I called my brother and I said, I'm going for a goal. Like, who do you know? Who can you call that's like gonna have friends? Like, who do you know that wants to get? I literally did the same thing though. It wasn't like, who can we get a pack for? It was like, Nate, you owe me. Like, I'm a wicked sister. Who do you know that like now's the time to help me? I need you to find 2 friends that like genuinely want more energy, want to lose weight. Like, it was the same principle. It was just like a lot of conversations, a lot of excitement, like leaning on, like I said, 2 of the consultants, one was the best man at our wedding. So I called Joff and I'm like, Joffy, who do you know that like you've had amazing results? Like, who do you know right now that like even just wants to get like lose some weight or get energy? And he was like, well, my sister and my mom. And it was like, okay, let's get them on the phone and get them in a PM. It was just, it doesn't change like the exact same way I am still today. But I have to say it was just high volume. So it was like, a lot of people were like, Anna, like, I love it and I support you and this is amazing and I love you're excited, but I just don't want to share. I was like, no worries, all good. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye. Boom. Like, next. Like, it wasn't. And then literally I was like, I'm not going to get up off this spot until I've done it. So it was just a lot of calls and a lot of excitement. And then like people were going, oh my God, yeah, but I've got 4 people that, and there was some people that I called that was like, well, I've been meaning to enroll my husband. I just didn't know how to do it. And I'm like, let's do it right now. So it was just very like excitement. I say ignorance on fire, but ignorance on fire is the best way to be.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mandy.
I'm going to unmute myself too. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, darling. Hey, Kian.
Hi. How are you?
Hey.
Hey.
I just said
Okay, I just want to know, touching back to when you're doing your full-on campaign and you're contacting your 500 people and going hardcore, obviously there would have had to have been some direct asks in there.
Oh.
Like they're not all just follow-ups that you've contacted over the 5 years and then now you're just following up with 500 people because you've got those in your bank up, at the back.
Yeah.
So direct asks, was that on the same premise? Hey, chick, don't know where you're at right now. This is what I'm doing. Not sure if you're interested, but let me know if you want to know more, kind of thing. And not really caring about obviously, whether they get back to you or not.
I was contacting women off The Bachelor from Instagram. Like, you guys don't understand the level of, dead set. I was like, influencers, I don't give a fuck. You all need Isogenics. Like, I was that, 100%. It was like, you need this. I got it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And it was just exactly the same ethos, exactly the same. And I always say, I think the core difference between this time and ongoing, like I assure you, because this is like the way we roll now, just with the systems, and every other time is I'd kind of say, let me know if you want more information. Whereas this time it was like, here's the information, just in a pretty little graphic, and let me know if you want more information, let me know. So, and I've got to say from both, and no attachment to the outcome. Like, that was the biggest thing. Like, Morgan, there was a couple of times that like I would have to walk out of the office and yell and like run on the spot, and he'd be like, did you just contact someone awkwardly? I was like, yes. Oh my God. I actually had said 17 times, I can never show my face in Perth again. Like just the level of direct contacts I was doing on Instagram. It was because I was just so excited, and it worked. And I have to say, admittedly, most of the women that signed up were follow-ups, but a lot of the directs, I'm in conversations now. A couple have signed up since. None of the Bachelor girls, unfortunately, yet. I'll get there. But that's what I was doing.
Love it. Thanks, Gord.
You're welcome.
Epic. Rachie, you got a question? And I'm on my phone, guys, so I can't see everybody. So just unmute yourselves after Rach if you've got a question. Go, Rachie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I was just wondering, with Celebration being so close, what are you and your teams doing to really, get fired up and get people there? Is there anything you guys are doing? Obviously, just, share the excitement and all that. But, yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing.
Big time. So I have a team of yellows, because I am about as yellow as they come. So, and we are big on events. So we have, I think at the moment, about 120 team going, which is 10% of the room. We have a lot of team going essentially for the numbers. And we do two things. And this is actually something that I should talk about more. But first of all, we get on the phone. We genuinely get on the phone. So we will literally call our personally enrolled, and we get this amongst all the leaders to, I had another 2 women from Perth commit today, and it's next weekend, 100% commit today, because I was on the phone to them just you want this, you need this, this is, that this is the event that you got to get to. So it's a posture, it's not just a voice message, it's not a text, it's not a PM, it's not posting the team page. We are on the phone. That I honestly believe is the core difference. But second of all, and I don't know why it works, but we have a separate group team page, not team page, I don't want to say team page. We have a private group that once you have a celebration ticket, you can get added into that. And there's all the buzzers in there. So people in our team get FOMO, I think, because they're yellows. So it works for our team. You guys might all be, and you just need to go cry and hug it out. I don't know, but it works for us because they get FOMO. So in our team, it's once you have a ticket, you get added in. And in that group, we have, I think, 6 tables going to gala. They just want to be a part of it all. And in that group we post, we just, the mocha thing just got released. Mac has just said there's 1,000 tubs of Mocker at Celebration, and we put that in there, and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And then we'll put it in, and we take a screenshot of that and put it in the team supernovas, and we're like, guys, it's pumping, who's coming? So we started that last year for Celebration, and it worked so well. And then that's how everyone can find accommodation, because some people will go, I just can't afford the accommodation. We're like, it's all good. There's a group. We can put you in there, and you'll find a buddy in the team that you'll vibe with. So accommodation gets worked out in there. Flights get worked out in there. Like, people offer to fly on certain flights because there's kids that are coming, and it's just a real, I don't know, we really do have a good team culture around events, but I do think it's like picking the phone up and like calling our people, and we're like, this is why you need to be there.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. Yellow. Woo.
Yeah. Anna, so with those two people that committed and these people that you're on the phone to, have they previously expressed some level of interest in getting their products paid for, or the business? Or are you calling just cleansers and being like...
No, I don't push, like, I'm never going to... No, they're absolutely women that are interested in the business, 100%.
Yeah.
Not building, like, they're not... not actively building, paid as consultants, but not like, not enrolling, 6 a month or 5 a month or whatever. They've been doing it. They were 6 stars. They were in the 6 star week as well. So, and they're from Perth. So that's a big, you guys, that's a big commitment. And they're mothers. So I think they're just excited that see, they're yellows. I'm like, hello, 2 nights away from the kids. What?
Yeah.
And so it's whatever, like, you can find, because I know that they love that. Like, they're about that life. So I was like, 2 nights away from the kids, like, we'll go to gala, we'll have champagne, we have a team party. Do you guys, like, we have a team party in the team that there's FOMO around that. It's like, we create a lot of, excitement and FOMO essentially within the team at Celebration.
Love it. Yeah, I just wanted to check in on cleanser versus, because I know you enroll a lot of people that are just cleansing and using the products as well. So you don't even call them, you don't like, nah, sweet.
We target them through just posting the team page.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Like, anyone that has said they've ever wanted to earn a cent in Isagenix or does, we are on the phone.
Yeah. Love it. Anybody else got any questions before we wrap up? Just going to scroll across. I think we might be all good. Well, you guys can unmute yourselves and just give Anna a little bit of love. Thanks so much. Like, I know you get hit up for calls all the time. So really appreciate you taking the time to share the love.
Thank you.
We love you, Anna.
Bye.
Love from the love.
Last one to the bars of rotten egg.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Champagne celebration.
Woo!
See ya.
Thanks, beautiful.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.